We can't afford milk. We can't afford eggs. We can't afford our rent. We can't afford our...
What I'm about to tell you is going to be really shocking for some of you guys, so please listen. If you haven't watched this person's full video, please go watch it real quick before you watch mine. For anyone who's taken psychology before, you've seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs before. Basically what this shows is everything that us humans need in order to be happy in life. The reason it's shown in this pyramid is because you can't reach those other levels until you get the first one and then the second one. When I was in high school and college and we were learning about slavery and dictatorship, we had students asking the teacher, well, how did these people know that they weren't under dictatorship? How did they not know that they were slaves? And that's when the teacher pulled out this pyramid. He explained to us that these people didn't realize that they needed to save themselves from slavery or the dictatorship because they weren't even getting their first needs met. And you can't think of anything when you're hungry or when you're not feeling safe or when you don't have a home. And these people had to rely on their masters or their dictator to get them that food. There is a reason why the federal minimum wage hasn't been raised since the 90s. Because if we have the money to reach all the levels of this pyramid, then we don't have to rely on anybody but ourselves. If you haven't realized this already, the government needs us to rely on them. There's a reason they're not helping poor people or people who are lower class. And they get away with this by teaching us from a very young age that America is the only land of the free. It's kind of crazy that we never thought about how weird it was for us as elementary school kids to be singing about how great America was and how we were better than everybody else. And they teach us that the police and the government is here to protect us. We're just supposed to follow the laws and do what we're told. And they show us pictures and videos and stories of what dictatorship and slavery is supposed to look like and how we are definitely not that. And they talk about how our country is built upon how people can do whatever they want. And they don't have to follow the orders of a king or a queen. But we don't have as much free choice as they make us think we do. Because if we don't work for them, we die. And sure, they don't kill us themselves. They just let us starve. And that's why in a lot of places it's illegal to feed homeless people. And there's a second level of the pyramid that mentions health. I'm sure you've heard before that they pump chemicals into our food. And while those chemicals won't make you sick right after eating it, they do eventually make you sick. That is why so many people are dying from cancer and a lot of other illnesses. And if we have to keep going back to the hospital that's very expensive, by the way, then we only have enough money for the first level of the pyramid. Once again, we only have the money for water and food and shelter and clothes. And if you look around to the people all around you, almost all of us have issues with our self-esteem and listening to our bodies and understanding what we need mentally. And that is because we are so focused on these first 2 or 3 levels of the pyramid. Psychology is a really interesting subject, but a lot of people use it for evil, as you can see. Because if they know how our minds and our bodies work, then they know how to control our minds and our bodies. I don't want to come on here and make a video that's going to scare everybody, but this is the truth, and this is what I've observed and a lot of other people, obviously. I have a feeling this video is not going to get a lot of attention, and you know why. If there's anyone who's studied psychology and knows a lot more about this topic than I do, please make a video about it, because this needs to be talked about. And I wish I can say that because I shared this information that I know what to do about it, but I don't. It's hard to know who to trust because politicians go out there and tell you, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, and they make it sound like they're gonna do all the things that you want them to do and save us. And they never do, and they never follow through with any of their promises. And it's getting really scary, and it's only getting worse. So if anybody has any ideas on what we can do to fix this problem ourselves, please feel free to share them.